Hi there everybody, I'm Justin Chenette, Vice President of Saco Main Street, with a very special guest. We have the Executive Director of Saco Main Street, Rob Biggs, right here in the Saco Scoop.
Thanks, Justin.
Where you could get the Saco Taco, right, Rob?
Exactly. Anytime, any day of the week, we've got it from 12 noon till 9 p.m., 7 days a week.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the Scoop a little later on, but I wanted to start off with Saco Main Street, its mission, its organization, what it does in the community, so that just people get a little refresher of all the important work we do to revitalize our historic downtown. So Rob, for somebody who's never heard of Saco Main Street before and needs a refresher, what is Saco Main Street?
Well, Saco Main Street is a 501c3 nonprofit that is supported by the city, by the events that we have, as well as donations from people like you. But beyond that, Saco Main Street supports both historic preservation is part of our mission, as well as business vitality, helping the businesses in our downtown and attracting new businesses to our downtown, as well as then having the events for our folks to come visit our downtown, which are all free. We have 5 a year, and then we've added music in the park this last 3 years ago, and it's been quite successful.
And we've done large-scale events, so Pumpkin Harvest Fest, right?
Yeah, Pumpkin Harvest Festival we just finished with over 3,500 people in our downtown. Lots of fun, saw a lot of happy kids, a lot of pumpkins certainly. We had, for the first time, a large climbing wall in our downtown, which was a lot of fun, certainly. Pie eating contest, how can you go wrong without that?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then donut eating contest, just to kind of top it off.
That's my favorite, yeah. So a lot of large-scale events, they're free family events, which is really nice. And I know people really do appreciate music in the parking lot. You pull up a chair, I mean, who doesn't love a free concert?
Right, you know, hot dogs and things like that, certainly in the summertime with your with a weekly concert with a wide variety of music for all ages. We have people from 3 years old to 88 years old and everyone in between, certainly. It's a great event. It's a great community builder with a large demographic and a lot of different people. But again, all of this doesn't really happen on its own. It happens with the support of our sponsors, which we have some great sponsors in this town that have been very strong supporters of what Saco Main Street does. But then in addition to that, we need donations, certainly, because we do run as a nonprofit. We're not supported, or we're not owned by the city. And Saco Scoop has been developed as a community space that what we've tried to put together was a place for people to meet, people to gather, but then also to grab a scoop of ice cream, which helps support Saco Main Street. So that's just one more way of helping businesses downtown. We've noticed a lot more foot traffic since it's open. Other businesses have noticed that and been glad that we did this, certainly, but we need to certainly continually do more. And as I said, and we'll say it over and over, that we're not owned by the city. We're not owned by Rob Biggs, we're not owned by Justin Chenette, but we are owned by the people. And it is a nonprofit that does a lot for this town, certainly. We've seen a lot of changes over the last 3 or 4 years. For example, our upcoming light parade this year has been noted to be apparently the largest light parade in the state of Maine. We had over 100 different entries last year. It was an hour and 15 minutes long, and we expect it to be larger this year. Each year we push a little bit more to just get it that much bigger and better. And I think it's going to be a great event, starting off that morning at noon with Santa Claus coming to the train station to visit all the kids. We have crafts there, we have happenings, and the trolley runs up and downtown Main Street. We have the Festival of Trees at the Saco Museum. We'll have ice carvers, we'll have crafts, we'll have hopefully the live nativity will be back again this year. And so we look forward to a great day.
Really get into the holiday spirit. Now I want to bring us back to the Saco Scoop, because I think this is really important, that this is an ongoing nonprofit fundraiser for Saco Main Street. How did the idea come about? Because we were batting around ideas about how do we create not only an ongoing fundraiser for our nonprofit, but also a community space where people can come and hang out, play games, socialize. How did that idea come about?
Well, the Saco Scoop actually, as an ice cream store, as you said, we were looking at different ideas of how to revitalize our downtown and give it a little burst of excitement or spark. Came about when the Saco Bay Creamery decided to retire. They donated their equipment to us, again, being a nonprofit. And then beyond that, we decided to open up this ice cream store and give it a go. We focus on products that are not available in our downtown. We don't want to compete with our other stores in the downtown. But the Saco Scoop it came out, we gave it a go. We knew nothing about ice cream, but we gave it a start, and here we are a year and 4 months later, and doing well. We have things like community days here. We have Story Time for Children, which Justin's been part of with his Thing One costume and my bright red suit. But then beyond that, we also have policemen, firemen, and other folks, other politicians, and other celebrity folks coming to read. In addition to that, we've had several churches that have had family game nights and youth nights here. Right. We've had networking groups that meet here. So it's really used more beyond just coming in, getting an ice cream and leaving. Although, as we always say, you can support your downtown one scoop at a time at the Saco Scoop. Think of it as a bake sale that just keeps on going. Day after day after day.
Support your downtown one scoop at. We got to put that on a bumper sticker or something. Right. That sounds great. And then you can't forget the Saco Taco.
No.
Because that made a lot of headlines.
The Saco Taco just sort of came about as a bit of a, not necessarily an accident, but we had a little extra of our waffle cone mix left over when we were making waffles. We decided to try to make a taco shell and then turned it into the Saco Taco. Then beyond that, suddenly it turned into a news story with Channel 6 coming down here for their morning feed with Katie Bavoso. Then after that, we had Jim Keithley here, who came down for one of his cooking shows on Channel 8 and did a piece on our hot fudge sauce that we make from scratch, and then ultimately made the Saco Taco. So we're going to look for some more things as we move into this winter time. We've got a couple more ideas in the back of our pocket that we're going to pull out, and we'll see where that goes.
Now, Saco Main Street does a lot beyond just throwing large-scale events, which I think is a really big aspect. But the community development piece, we have a brand new park. We call it the Post Office Park, right next to us.
Right. Yeah. So we were constantly looking for ways to improve the downtown, and one thing we kept hearing from people was we want places to gather. And so we saw an unutilized piece of land between the post office and the Atkinson building, which is now the Saco Scoop. But prior to it becoming the Saco Scoop, we built this park out where we had bricks donated by the city. We had landscaping, and the hardscape was done by a local contractor. The sod was given to us by a local sod farm. And we put it all together with 3 great benches that were sponsored by individuals as well as local businesses. But in addition to things like the human side of parks and things like that, we also work with existing businesses, helping them come out and talk about their business and re-energizing them. And then we work attracting new businesses to downtown, and when they come, we help them support themselves in the opening process with restaurants like Kiro Cafe. We helped SIA through some of their opening, but also with some of the zoning issues we had to work on. And then Whimsical Me was one that I'd heard from an individual, from Heather McLean, that she was looking for a place to open a storefront. One was starting to become available. I told her, she signed a lease 2 days later, and 3 months later she had Whimsical Me, and that's been extremely successful in our downtown as well. We've got another restaurant that we'll talk about later that's going to be opening in the Mill Building, number 4, next to the train station. Quite a nice place there. And then we're also going to have a bagel shop that's going to open in that building as well.
That'll be good. We like that. We look forward to that. So a lot of economic development, community development, so many different aspects that Saco Main Street handles.
Yeah, I look at it as Saco Main Street kind of sets the table. So we work on the historical preservation. We work on working with businesses. We help them get started, and then we invite our guests to come to the table, and that's all the community events that bring people downtown, so they can be proud of their downtown. They can see what's going on here. They can come back and visit the shop owners and enjoy themselves as well.
Like your tag phrase, Saco, it's happening, right?
It seems to be, certainly. It has over the last few years. So.
Now, Saco Main Street has a new headquarters, if you will, besides our Saco Scoop location. We're over at the Saco train station.
Right, we moved to the train station this year. We're cohabitating with Zoom shuttle bus in the office space within the train station. It's a great opportunity for us to and remind people that Main Street extends across the train tracks and goes down to the river with places like Deli and Company down there, as well as Run of the Mill, and then again, new restaurant and bagel shop that will be opening there as well in the near future. So it's been very exciting. Our Mill Building 4, when that opened up, it was fully occupied, and I just met with them the other day, and they even talked about the fact that they never have a vacancy, because when one opens up, within 48 hours, it's already rented. So there's 150 apartments there, and just as a note, it's kind of interesting, they're very dog friendly, as we are at the Saco Scoop with our doggy walk-up window. They have over 75 dogs living in that apartment complex.
That's really
so I know.
Yeah, we like that. And there's a lot of opportunities for people to get involved with Saco Main Street. You're always looking for new volunteers to be a part of the process. We have a lot of standing committees that do different things. So like, for instance, we have a design committee that handles those flower boxes you might see, around the downtown. But how can folks get involved? And obviously, we're always looking for folks to participate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we need support. When we have the large-scale events, it takes a lot of human effort to put those on. So for the events, if you want to spend a day with us, or even just a few hours during the day, you can help us maybe get it started, maybe pick it up at the end of the day, or be there during the day itself. Beyond that, as Justin alluded to, we have different committees that work with. We have a business vitality committee that works with these businesses. For example, we're going to have that committee is going to do Small Business Saturday, coming up the Saturday after Thanksgiving, where the Saco Main Street will be giving away $5 gift cards for the first, we'll figure out how many people. Last year it was 200, we're hoping for 250 this year, that can be used that day in our downtown with businesses here. And then beyond that, there's other events or things like you talked about, the flowers. The design committee helps with the flags. We help with the signage in our downtown, and lots of other things. And so we're always looking for volunteers, but we're looking for your ideas as well of what do you want to see in your downtown? What would you like to have here that you don't already have, that's within reason? We're not going to put up suddenly a 400-acre park, because we just don't have that land, certainly. We'd love to, but we don't. But we've got lots of great things afoot, and we're always looking for new ideas.
And so get involved. You can go to sacomainstreet.org to kind of see not only our projects, but our events, and also information about our committees. So for folks at home that are like, okay, when is the Scoop open? What are the hours of the Scoop if they wanted to support their downtown one scoop at a time? Again, we got to keep saying that over and over again.
Yeah, again, Saco Scoop is meant to be a community space, a meeting place, and a fundraiser for Saco Main Street. We are open 12 noon to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, although there will be a few times we've had bad weather, we've had power outages, but we get through those. And then times around Christmas and Thanksgiving, we probably may not be open all the time, so check our Facebook page, and it's always up to date as to when we're open. But other than that, 12 noon to 9, there's never a bad time for ice cream at the
even in the
Saco
winter
Scoop.
time, and that's
Absolutely.
the whole point, is to try to keep attracting folks to the downtown year-round. And we're a unique situation where we're actually open in the winter time.
Right.
Because we all like ice cream, no matter what time of the year. It could be 5 feet of snow, I still want a scoop of ice cream.
Exactly. And we've got 35 flavors here to pick from, so it may be difficult, but it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of good products here. So as you see behind us, we have Thornton Academy gear,
Right.
All kinds of Maine-based products and different things. So I really like the Thornton sweatshirts. Those always come in handy around football season, but there's all kinds of things to come out and check the store. And then if folks want to donate, how can they do that?
Well, I mean, certainly you can go to our website and donate directly online. That's sacomainstreet.org. All 3 words are spelled out. You can stop by the Saco Scoop and drop off a donation, certainly for Saco Main Street, or our office at the train station is another location. But it's an annual thing. It's something that we have to keep running.
Right.
It takes, again, a lot of effort and a lot of expense to kind of keep this all going, but it's been fun so far, and we've had a great time doing it.
So if you appreciate our large-scale events, if you appreciate all of the downtown revitalization efforts and the support of our small businesses, if you appreciate Saco Main Street, we're really asking folks to provide a tax-deductible donation to our nonprofit organization. Again, like Rob mentioned, it keeps us afloat, it keeps us really cranking on progress for our community, and so we can't thank you enough for all of your support over the years, but we have to keep it up to keep this thing alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I also want to thank you, Rob, for all the things that you've done. You really have done a wonderful job transforming this organization. I've seen it through the highs and the lows over the years, and I think we all appreciate the effort that you do in the community, and so I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
So again, go to sacomainstreet.org to learn about volunteer opportunities, events that we have coming up, and ways to donate. We'll put that link in the video description. So Rob, thanks for chatting with me today.
And as we say at the end of all emails, Saco, it's happening.
Absolutely.